And what do you call a cheese that's not yours? Nacho cheese! Yo dudes! Welcome to Nachos. Nachos are deadly.
They're great, easy snack food, great to eat in front of the telly, great to share, great for parties.
And just for context, deadly doesn't mean they're going to kill you. In Ireland, a local word means deadly means exceptionally
Brilliant.
good.
Yes,
so
there you
these
go.
are delicious. They're a wonderful dish to
I
share.
said all that. But what I was going to say is there's four main components to it. We're going to make a salsa. We're going to make our own
tortillas,
which are going to be
We're
really
going to
nice.
make a nacho cheese. We're going to make refried beans, and then we're going to pimp them all up to this.
And we're going to layer it up into this
epic vegan nachos.
Movie-worthy, snack-worthy, party-worthy, next-level vegan delight.
Oh, this recipe is from our latest book. Thanks a million to anyone who's bought it. It was the first book that was an international bestseller. So bestseller,
100%
number one
vegan.
bestseller in Ireland last year, and it hit the bestseller list in the UK. So thank you.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so first step, we are starting with wraps. We've got, we couldn't find brown wraps, so we got white wraps.
In Ireland, we call these wraps. In other parts of the world, they're known as tortillas. But whatever.
You could use corn wraps, but we're actually going to make our nacho chips using these.
So take your wrap, as we call them here, take a pastry brush, and you're just going to brush them.
Brush both sides.
The other one's going to get the oil from the other side. Okay, we've oiled them all. Just give them a little bit of a compress to force the oil around, and then we're going to just chop them. So,
and obviously, if you want them gluten-free, use corn wraps or gluten-free wraps. Okay, so we've boiled our wraps, we've sliced them into little
wedges.
We're going to spread them out onto a baking tray. Obviously, you want to spread them out as shallow as you can.
Ideally, they're in a shallow like this. If you do lay them out too thick, they won't crisp up and they will actually steam and you'll end up with soggy ones. So really spread them out. Give them a nice dusting of salt.
We've preheated the oven to 200 degrees and we're going to bake them for about 10 to 15 minutes until they go golden and crispy. Next step, we're going to make our refried beans. So take a beautiful non-stick pan.
Does it have to be aubergine in colour?
Yes, it has to be. No, it doesn't. Any kind of pan, really. Pop it on a high heat. I'm going to add a little bit of oil, a tablespoon of oil.
While that heats up, get your twin just to slice up a red onion.
And if you don't have a twin, I guess you'll have to do it yourself. Sorry.
Okay, we chopped 2 cloves of garlic, 1 red onion. Pan is nice and hot. In they go. Beautiful. Refried beans, also known as
frijoles refritos. I'm going to use a tin of black beans, just drain and rinse them.
Okay, into our frying onion and garlic, I'm going to go in with about a tablespoon of cumin seeds.
Okay, so our onions are browned and the whole kind of cumin seeds are starting to, the aromas permeating the room. We're going to add in our drained and rinsed black beans. Use whatever beans you have. We like black beans.
Again, you could use kidney beans, you could use aduki beans, you could use whatever type you have. So we're going to use the back of the fork and just or back of the wooden spoon and just slowly start to mash them. As Dave's doing that, we're going to take the juice of 1 lime, squeeze it all in. I'm going to go in a little bit of chili, so that's about half a teaspoon. I'm going to go in a generous pinch of salt. Some fresh coriander, also known as cilantro, across the pond.
What pond are you talking about?
The North Atlantic Ocean, actually. Include the stalk, just make sure to chop it finely.
So I think this is an essential ingredient in our nachos.
Okay, time to make our salsa. This is a very quick fire salsa. Into our bowl, 1 tin of chopped tomatoes.
We will go with juice of 1/2 a lime.
Taking 1 tube of tomato puree, I'm going to go in with 100 ml, or 100 grams, so half a tube.
I like a couple of scallions or spring onions, so I'm going to slice these just for a bit of texture.
I'm going to go with a tablespoon of maple syrup to balance the acidity of the tomatoes. I'm going to go with a large tablespoon of ground cumin, and again, similarly, about a generous teaspoon of ground coriander.
We like a little bit of chili, so we're going to go with a little sprinkling, a little dusting of chili flakes.
And last, I have some garlic granules. I'm going to go with just a little bit, about half a teaspoon of garlic granules.
So this is going to be just an easy salsa, really quick fire salsa that'll work great. Okay, that's our next component complete. Okay, next component which we're going to make, which I think is really important, is our nacho cheese. This is our drizzling cheese which will go on top lastly when we serve it all. I have 80 grams of boiled potatoes. I simply chopped them, left the skin on them and boiled them for about 15 minutes until they're soft. There is a video of how we made this from scratch.
There's 40 grams of boiled carrot. It is already cooked.
It's going to give the
juice of half a lime.
In it goes.
Half a teaspoon of garlic granules.
We're gonna go with 60 ml of sunflower oil. That's gonna kind of give the sense of fat to it.
Try to make sure it's a neutral tasting oil. So if you are going to use a sunflower oil or a grapeseed oil or a canola oil, it's something that's very neutral in tasting.
So cheap, really. 30 ml of rice milk.
Or non-dairy milk of choice.
How much nutritional yeast?
A tablespoon of nutritional yeast.
Okay, so boom. So I blended that until it's smooth. It took kind of a couple of minutes. But just blend it until it's a smooth, nice, runny kind of texture. So it's beautiful texture there. So here's our tortillas. I've just taken them out of the oven and I put them all together in one tray. So they're nice and crispy, beautiful. They really are.
We're going to put a few on the bottom. Let's take our refried beans. First layer, just put in a little bit of refried beans around them. Not too much. I'm going to layer in a little bit of salsa.
So the refried beans add a great kind of contrast of flavour.
They do look a little dry, but don't worry, the salsita is going to moisten it all up.
I think it's a mixture of kind of constantly layering it up.
I have some mayo here that I simply put a few garlic granules in it. I'm going to just put a little bit of that, just blobs, just to give it an extra bit of more nacho cheese.
Finally, a little drizzle. A little bit of coriander. I always like a little bit of coriander, it being a Mexican dish. And finally, a couple of little bits of chili on top, just to set the whole thing off and give another little pop of colour.
Wow, this just looks
There
massive.
we go, dudes. There you have it. Easy nachos.
Perfect snack food, really lovely to share. Great one just to dip in and just...
And lovely if you pop in the oven just to heat everything up.
There you have it.
Thanks for
Qué
watching.
rico. Gracias para vernos. Suerte, bien provecho y ciao.
And if you make this, leave a comment and let us know. We'd love to hear how you get on with it.
Thanks for watching. Cheers.